most Redstone builds are based off of binary, as we Redstone builders all know, because Redstone signals come into states on and off. And that's why they think in binary. But the control room, which I'm in for whatever the hell I built here, doesn't think in binary. Why? Well, because it does the unthinkable. It adds a -1. Yes, this thing doesn't use bits, it uses trits, balanced ternary digits. And each trit is implemented with 2 redstone signals each. And what this thing is this little multiplexer. Yeah, it's a multiplexer. Anyway, so there's a bunch of inputs here. There's a select, and what it does is it selects one of these inputs to display in the output. And this can, of course, be used to implement any one trit gate. So for example, if I set it like this, the gate will just output whatever's in the input. I should also probably use now to explain the trit scheme, I suppose. So when both signals are off, that means no data. And then for all other and then for the trit values, whatever, you take the plus and the minus and multiply each by what the signal is as a bit, and then just add them together. So just the bottom signal on is -1. Both on are 0, and just the uppermost signal on is +1. And you can see that this is an identity gate as this is set up because the output matches the input. I can also set this to be an incrementer, I guess. In binary, this incrementer thing would just be an XOR gate, but this is ternary, of course, so of course it's more complicated. So yeah, of course, with how to set up, when the select is null, the output is also null. Okay, so if I put -1, -1 plus 1 is 0, so the output is 0. Input 0, 0 plus 0 is 1. And if I put 1, hold on. 1 plus 1 is 2, which is 1 minus 1 in balanced ternary. But since the output has only one trit, the output overflows per se to display -1. And then another thing that can be done, I guess I can show, is that if the input, if one of the stream inputs, data inputs, whatever, is null, and if that line is selected, the output is still null. So this is 0. The 0 data input here is null, and the output is null to match. And also, of course, if I can change these data inputs on the fly, and the output would change accordingly. I'm just gonna temporary X out here to show what the circuitry looks like. So the two select lines are covered with all this circuitry here. into a one code encoding scheme where a line is off for each trit, and then there are these lines for the data inputs. And basically this mess of wires here are a bunch of contorted AND gates that try to fit into this space. And there's a bunch of output lines here that go to the output trit there. So that's basically how this mess works. Anyway, that's a simple balanced ternary multiplexer circuit thing. Anyway, see you next time for whatever balanced ternary madness I build next. This is very unusual for Redstone build standards. I don't know. Anyway, bye.